This is Ryan Elliott for Boxing News. Let you be joined by Josh Taylor. Josh, been a while. How are you, mate?
It's been a while, mate. It's been a long time since last time we seen you, but good, mate. Everyone's all good. How's yourself?
Yeah, all good here. We're here to talk about you though. Back in training now. Understand you're kind of ticking over. Has it been a welcome recharge, a honeymoon, and then a bit of downtime, and then just kind of taking over now?
Well, that's exactly. You've just nailed it on the head. Obviously lost the last fight, and then sort of just went away on holiday, went away on a honeymoon, come back, and then sort of recharge the batteries. Been a couple of wee trips here and there, and ticking over in the gym, just ticking over, training away, and sort of keeping myself fit, and in the gym, keeping active. So, I just ticking over. It's a bit of downtime at the minute. Not really sure what the plans are, to be honest. So, I just ticking over and taking it easy at the minute, and then we're looking to hopefully get out at the start of the year next year and get back on the horse.
Now, this is the first time in a long time where you've not been able to call yourself a world champion. Now the dust has settled and you've had your time to get over it and lick your wounds, so to speak. Do you think this is a bit of a weight off your shoulders in a weird way? There's been so much expectation for such a long time.
It's pretty lousy that I can't say I'm world champion anymore. That's for sure. But I believe I'll be a five-time world champion. I'll come back and I'll win another belt, and then hopefully I'll be a two-weight world champion as well. So I've still got these dreams and aspirations to achieve more in the sport. None of that's changed. None of that's changed now. So the only thing is now is navigating right. What fights do I get back to get my titles back? And whether or not I'm going to be at 147 or not. I think most likely I probably will go up that direction. But if I'm staying at 140, the next fight's not going to be championship weight anyway, because I've not got a belt anymore. So we'll see. I'll still sit down with the team and see what's happening. But it's looking like I probably won't be doing 140 again. So but again, I've not made any decisions in that. But yeah, we'll wait and see what's happening. And just obviously the last two fights, going off energy levels and stuff, not the same. But there was a lot, sort of, I'm not going to say excuses, but sort of factors as to why my legs went in that fight. And a lot of it was to do with my preparation with my road work. I couldn't run. I couldn't do anything on my legs because of the injury that I had with the plantar fascia tendon tear. I couldn't do anything for months on my feet properly. So I couldn't do any running or any proper condition on the legs. But, it's not an excuse. I went in the fight the best that I could ever be. I went in great shape, great condition. And I was just beating the night by the better guy, and that's it. It's the sort of be all and end all of it is I was just beaten by the better man on the night. But I firmly believe me at my best can beat Teofimo no problem. So, but on the night he was better than me, and that's it. So, we dust ourselves off and we go again and we see what's happening. So I am looking forward to what the future's got. And to answer your question, yes, I've had a lot of there's a lot of weight off my shoulders, to be honest. I've been carrying a lot of expectations for about 10 years, since the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. I've been sort of the poster boy of the Commonwealth Games, and then the next best tip is the next best thing to come out of Scotland and become a world champion, and in the UK and being a pound for pound fighter, top 5 in the pound for pound list and all that, and then becoming undisputed world champion, and just having the sort of pressure, expectation all the time is sort of, yeah, it's good not having that now. That's a wee sort of weight lifted off my shoulders. I can get back to being the hunter and challenging and being the sort of underdog, well, not the underdog, but not tipped as a way up here on the pedestal anymore. I'm back to the hunting now. I'm back to get the guns out and the rifles out and the scope out to see who the targets are now. So it's back to sort of challenger mentality, which is good.
Yeah, you mentioned the switch in mentality there when you've headlined in Las Vegas and New York and you've been undisputed champion. What is it about for you? You seem like you've still really got that buzz about boxing. What's the goal now for Josh Taylor? Is it about enjoying it?
No, I've always enjoyed it. I've always enjoyed it. It's just now that I feel I've not got the expectation on my shoulders or the pressure. of all that expectation on my shoulders anymore. That's like a little weight that's been lifted. So, not that I say like I never ever felt any pressure or anything like that, but I've not got that expectation anymore, which is a little weight off the shoulders, which is good. It's a nice feeling. I can go back to just getting back to focusing on what I want to do next and win titles again, which is good, which is how I was before I won any world title, so it's back to having that feeling again, the challenger mentality to go and win what everybody else has got now. So it's back to that kind of mentality now. So it's quite refreshing to be back to that again. And in the sport, I've still got aspirations to become a world champion, as I said, a 5-time world champion, 2-weight division world champion, so obviously former undisputed champion, hate saying that, former undisputed champion, 4-time world champion with all the belts. So look, the next goal is to become 5 times world champion at a second weight class, so that's the stuff that keeps the belly burning and the fire burning. So that's the kind of stuff that keeps the desire there, the kind of goals and aspirations. So I've still got them, and I still think they're very achievable. So until I feel that I'm not performing anymore and just not there, then that's when I'll hang it up. Or I haven't got the desire. That's when I'll hang the gloves up. But it's still fully there.
Kind of interesting you were saying about the weight. If it's not an immediate move to welterweight, it won't be. Your next fight won't be at 140 because there won't be a world title on the line. I know we're waiting to see what's going to happen with the belts. Obviously, Spence and Crawford are going to have their rematch, but it seems like a lot of the big name, big money fights are at 140. Is it going to be a case of just seeing what's out there? The opposition may actually dictate it.
Yeah, listen, don't be fooled. Like I'm absolutely not sure of any options of what's going forward. It's more a case of me deciding what I want to do and what's the best for me at this right time and what kind of path I want to take. I've got plenty of options there. It's I still believe I'm the best in the division. I just had a bad night, and when you're at the top, when you're at the top tier level, Teofimo Lopez is no slouch. He's arguably, although I still say he's not, he's arguably a 2-weight undisputed world champion. In terms of he's beat the man who's beat the man twice. So. Although he's never been an undisputed champion, but arguably he kind of is if he's going off his accolades, and who's achieved and who's beat. So nobody had beat me. So technically, I was sort of still the undisputed world champion. I had already let go a couple of belts, but I'm not. I'm waffling a lot of shit now. But I wasn't an undisputed champion, but I kind of was because I never lost the titles, So I mean, Teofimo Lopez is a great fighter, top level fighter, and when you have a bit of an off night, you're not going to win these fights. When you have a bit of an off night, when you're at the peak of the sport, the pinnacle level of the sport, when you have an off night, you're not going to win these fights.
Well, that's it. Now, you said there before about getting your hunter rifle back out, going from the hunted to the hunter. Any names in particular you're looking at that you've got in your scope that you'd love to fight?
Listen, just anybody with a big name, and whoever's got the titles, whoever's got the belts, whoever's got the titles, and obviously now I'm at that stage of my career now where where's going to earn the most money. I feel like I want to be able to earn some good money fights now. I feel I've earned that right, given what I've achieved in the last few years. So, now it's kind of looking for big fights, and whoever's got the titles, really, whoever's got the titles at 147. I believe obviously they're tied up now with the rematch at the Crawford and Spence fight. If that happens or when it happens, they're tied up till then. And then I believe the winner of that fight is going to move up to 154. So I think the belts then become fragmented, and that's when I'll hopefully be able to get the chance to fight for a vacant world title.
So, in the meantime, we're waiting to see what's going on. Have you heard anything about a return? There was talk he might be back out before the end of the year in Scotland.
Yeah, I was wanting to get out before the year. They were saying sort of October, November, and then I was kind of like, well, it's a bit too soon. I've been away on holiday, my honeymoon, and relaxed for a couple of weeks, and sort of getting my silken phase out. So I've been training and keeping fit, but I kind of felt like I needed a little bit of a rest. I had a long camp there for that last one, because obviously we're getting the rematch with Catterall was on, and then I was in camp there for about 8 weeks. I had the injury, but I was back and forth to Liverpool at physiotherapy and rehab and doing all kinds of like electric shock can't even speak, electric shock magnetic therapy on my foot and stuff, all to speed up the recovery time. And so I never really kind of came back out of camp. I was always up and down and still developing strength from upper body and stuff like that. And as soon as I was able to get back boxing training, I was back training. I was straight back into camp, because the Teofimo fight had got put up on me by the WBO as a mandatory. So I had to get straight back into camp again and get back preparing for that fight. So it was about, I'd say about an 18-week camp, 19-week camp, maybe longer. So it was a long time being away from home and being in camp, so I kind of needed a little bit of a mental rest more than anything, to be honest. But yeah, we're back now, and we'll see what's happening. I was looking to hopefully say November, December. I was saying, I said I'll be ready for December, but they couldn't get a venue held down or something for December. Something about the dates couldn't work in December, so we're now possibly looking at early next year.
We spoke to Eddie Hearn last week, and he said if Jack Catterall beats Jorge Linares, he'll be reaching out and he wants to make that rematch for early next year. Is that still something you're interested in? Given if there's a bit of give and take.
Yeah, absolutely. That fight is there regardless. And obviously given the fallout for the last one, and things have been said and done. So yeah, I want to get in there and give him a good hiding, and prove that it's just not my level. He's just not on world level, top world level. He's a good domestic level fighter, but he's not. He doesn't beat any of these guys that have got the titles. He doesn't beat any of them. But yeah, to answer the question in short, yeah, I want to fight him again. So that fight will be there. That fight will be there for as long as we're both about. So, yeah, I'm absolutely keen to get that fight back. But I think he's on his own path at the time, and obviously I'm on my own path. But yeah, if we can get that fight made, I'll definitely be keen to have it at some point. So, yeah, hopefully soon, mate.
I want to ask you about a couple of things away from yourself. Firstly, it's a big night for Scottish boxing recently. Ricky Burns and Willie Limond there at the Braehead Arena, the venue you fought at. It was a great send-off for two greats of Scottish boxing. What did you make? I'm sure you were tuned in. What did you think?
Yeah, it was good. I was there. I was there on the night, so it was a good little night for Scottish boxing, and two sort of great guys of Scottish boxing, but Scottish boxing legends, I would say, and Willie Limond had a great career, and in my opinion, beat Amir Khan, with the knockdown and stuff like that, and the long count and all that carry on. But yeah, a great fighter, Willie Limond, and a great guy as well. Good pal, I'll keep in touch with him quite often, and I keep in touch with Ricky as well over the years. He helped me a lot as I was sort of doing the WSB after the Olympics, and helped us out with sparring, and sparred with him before a couple of his world title fights and stuff. So Ricky's a good friend now as well, and we always keep in touch with each other and that. So it was good to see these guys getting back out there and getting back to it. And I think Ricky still would. Me knowing Ricky, I think he still would, if it was up to him, have another one. But obviously he's got kids and a wife and all that kind of stuff. So I think maybe the missus hasn't been too happy with him still in the gym training. But knowing Ricky, he would fight to the day he dies. He just lives and breathes the sport. So it was a good night. It was a very good night, and a little bit sad for me to watch as well. Willie Limond just he gave his all, an absolute warrior. So he is. He just he stood there, and I think he got his nose cracked in the first minute of the round with a good jab. His nose got broken, and that seemed to give him really, really a lot of problems the whole way through the fight, because it was bleeding profusely, like really bad. So yeah, it was quite hard to watch, and he looked a little bit old and stuff in the ring, but again, he caught lucky with some good shots every now and again, had a couple of good little bursts, and yeah, it was just good to see two good guys going at it, and it was a good night of boxing. There was a lot of good fights on the undercard and stuff as well. So yeah, it was a great night of boxing.
No, one fight at 140. Your old opponent, Regis Prograis, it looks like he's fighting Devin Haney. Terrific fight.
Yeah.
Who do you think wins and why?
I think that's a great fight. I think the two obviously very good fighters. Obviously shared the ring with Prograis, and me and him had a good dust up. I've not obviously shared the ring with Haney, but I've sort of met him a couple of times and saw him in training and stuff. Looked very sharp. That would be a very good fight. In my opinion, I just think Devin Haney's a little bit too young, too fresh, too sharp, I think now. Going off last performances, I've seen highlights of the Prograis fight. I haven't seen the full fight, but he didn't look too clever his last fight. Where I know Haney boxed Lomachenko, and that was a great performance and a great fight, very high level skill. I thought Haney looked very sharp. So just going off them two performances, I would, if I was a betting man, I'd be probably placing my money on Haney. I would say.
And just a word on your gym mate Liam Smith. We saw his fight with Chris Eubank Jr. A brave effort, but we heard about the problems in camp, etc. But nonetheless, full credit to Chris Eubank Jr. Terrific performance. What did you make of it?
Yeah, obviously full credit to Chris Eubank Smith for obviously coming through and dealing with the demons that he obviously had going into that fight because of the first fight and stuff. So yeah, full credit to him. He went away over to America, got a new trainer, and switched up his full camp, and made sure that he done everything in his power to make sure that he got the right result, and he did. So fair play to him there. I think you got to give credit where credit's due for that. I didn't think he was all that impressive either, though. Like I'm not going to sit and bad mouth him or sit and stick up because Liam's my gym mate, but I didn't think he was that great either. He did what he had to do, but I didn't think he was that great. I think the first couple of rounds he still looked very tight and tense, and my opinion, a little bit tentative, of Liam's punching power and stuff. But I think once he realised that Liam was sort of just wasn't at the races and just wasn't himself, he just grew in confidence and started putting the shots together and throwing more shots and putting good combinations together. So I think it was a case of him growing in confidence because I think he maybe realised that Liam just wasn't there. But yeah, it was pretty difficult for me to watch because watching and knowing and seeing what Liam was doing in the gym and stuff, it was pretty a difficult watch to sit and watch, But yeah, I think just the weight and the sort of injury didn't help him at all. He had a bad back injury, back and lower hip sort of injury here. It was really bad, and obviously he put the weight on. So I think they were the two factors that he wasn't himself. But yeah, full credit to Chris Eubank Jr. For coming over and coming out with the goods.
One final name I want to get your thoughts on. There's rumours afoot that Conor Benn's going to actually be fighting next weekend in the USA. He's talked about you on numerous occasions. We spoke to Joe McNally not too long ago, and he said, "Look, Conor Benn's not really in Josh's plans." Do you echo that?
Well, do you know what? You never say never in this world, and in boxing especially. You never say never. I think a fight with Conor Benn down the line would be huge. But he's fighting, but he shouldn't be. He shouldn't be fighting. He shouldn't be anywhere near a boxing ring. That guy. I think that's pretty bad for the sport. It's a bad look. A guy popping dirty twice and still getting to box just doesn't look great for the sport. Basically, a slap on the wrist, and getting away with it. Right, okay, and get back to it. Yeah, I don't think it's a great look for the sport, but hey, it is what it is. And yeah, I would love to fight him at some point. Never say never. Whatever happens, and see what happens down the line. See what comes my way, and never say never, as you say. I've said that about 5 times now.
Well, Josh, look, thanks for making time for us this evening. It's been great to catch up, mate, and we'll catch you when you got some fight news, yeah?
Yeah, nice one, right, mate. Catch you after.